Hi you two, welcome to Friday's maths lesson, last maths lesson of the term, woohoo! So I'd like you please to start by writing the date and skill into your book. So the date is Friday the 12th of February 2021 and your skill is order fractions with the same denominator. So pause the video and write that in now for me please. Okay, let's recap then. So Mike has been sharing his counters using sharing circles to find 3/4 of 20. Can you spot his mistake? So pause the video and have a little discussion, see if you can spot what Mike has done wrong. Okay, so hopefully you said that Mike has not created equal groups. So you can see that some of his sharing circles have got more counters in than other sharing circles. So he's not created equal groups, has he? They are unequal. So 20 should have been shared into 4 equal parts. So there should be 5 counters in each sharing circle. So then 3/4 of 20 is 15 because 5, 10, 15, not 14. Well done if you spotted that, really good job. Okay, let's learn. So today we are going to learn how to order fractions with the same denominator. So yesterday we were comparing fractions, weren't we, with greater than and less than, and today we're going to use that learning to make sure we can order our fractions as well. So have a little think. Can you remind yourself what is a denominator and what does it tell us? Pause the video and see if you can remember. Okay, so a denominator is the bottom number of the fraction and it tells us how many equal parts a whole has been split into. So in this fraction, we've got a 1 as our numerator and a 2 as our denominator. So we know that the whole has been split into 2 parts because our denominator is 2. So this fraction is 1/2, isn't it? Well done if you said that, good job. Okay, so for today's lesson, the denominator will stay the same in each set of fractions that you're ordering. So we need to make sure then that we're looking really closely at the numerator when we are ordering them. So I'd like you to have a little think. What fractions do these two shapes show? So you've got the visual representation here and you've got the fraction as well. So can you have a go at reading them first of all for me, please? Okay, so we can see that the denominator is the same for both. We've got a 4 at the bottom, which means both wholes have been split into 4 equal parts, which we know is quarters. We know they're called quarters, don't we? So the numerator tells us then that in this whole 3/4 have been shaded, and this numerator tells us that 1 whole has been shaded. So we've got 3/4 shaded in this one and 1/4 shaded in the bottom one. So although these shapes help us to see which fraction is bigger, how does looking at the numerator tell us which fraction is bigger? Pause the video and have a little think. Okay, so quite simply, we know that the number 3 is greater than the number 1, don't we? So even if we didn't have these pictures here, looking at our numerators, we know that 3/4 has to be bigger than 1/4 because 3 is bigger than 1. So well done if you said that. That's essentially what we're going to be doing today, so good job. Okay, how could we order these fractions then? So first of all, I'd like you to think, what do these fractions represent? So look carefully at each fraction and decide what fraction it is that is being shown in these pictures. And then have a go at ordering the fractions and make sure that you start with the greatest. So what does the greatest mean? Does it mean the biggest or the smallest? See if you can have a think and have a go at that first challenge, please. Pause the video, off you go. Okay, so these fractions represent what? Oh, I've lost my mouse. There we go. So we can see they are all split into 3 equal parts. So we know that they are split into thirds. So the denominator is going to be 3 in our fractions. We can then see that this has got 2 parts shaded, so that's 2/3. This one has got 1, 2, 3 parts shaded, so that's 3/3, which is the same as 1 whole, isn't it? And this one has got 1/3 shaded. So we've got 2/3, 3/3 or 1 whole, and 1/3 shaded. So now we need to order the fractions starting with the greatest. So hopefully you said that the greatest means the biggest fraction, doesn't it? The greatest is the biggest number, or in this case, it's the biggest fraction. So which is our biggest fraction? Hopefully you said this middle one here, then it would be 2/3 and then 1/3. So into our books, it would look like this. So we've got 1 whole as the greatest, 2/3 and then 1/3 is the smallest. Well done if you said that. Don't worry if you didn't write anything in. If you just had a chat about it, that's fine. Don't worry. Okay, let's have a go at this one then. So what fractions do these shapes represent? And then I'd like you to have a go at arranging the fractions in order and starting with the smallest. So you can either talk about this or you can write this into your book. Pause the video, off you go. Okay, so this time we can see that our whole has been split into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts, and it's the same for each. So we know that our denominator will always be number 4 with these fractions. We also know that that's called quarters, don't we? So well done if you said that. So this top one, we've got 1, 2, 3 parts shaded, so that's 3/4. In this one, middle one, we've got 1 part shaded, so that's 1/4. And at the bottom, we've got 2 parts shaded, so that's 2/4. Now this time we need to order them starting with the smallest. So which is the smallest shape? Sorry, which is the smallest fraction? It's the 1/4, isn't it? This middle one here. And then the next one would be which? It would be 2/4, the bottom one, and the biggest one, so the one that's going to go right at the end, will be 3/4. So hopefully you said it would be like this, or you wrote this into your book. So the smallest is 1/4, then it's 2/4, and the greatest is 3/4. Well done if you did that. Okay, this time then, super tricky. We can also order other fractions. So this shape is split into 6 equal pieces. So each part is called 1/6. Now, I'd like you to have a think about if you can order these from smallest to largest. So we've not looked at 6, but we're using the same method, aren't we? So we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each whole bar has been split into 6. So our denominator for all of these fractions is going to be 6. So we need to look at the numerator then, don't we? The top number. How many parts have been shaded? See if you can work out the numerators for each of these bars and figure out then what the fractions would be. Pause the video. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 parts shaded in this bar, so it would be 3/6. In this part, we've only got 1 part shaded, so it would be 1/6. And finally, in the bottom one, we've got 1, 2 parts shaded, so it would be 2/6. So now we need to have a go at ordering them from smallest to largest. So can you have a go at either talking about that or writing that into your book, please? Okay, so the smallest is going to be 1/6, isn't it? Because 1 is the smallest numerator we'd have. Then it would be 2/6, and the largest one would be 3/6, because we know that 1 is smaller than 2, and 2 is smaller than 3. So we're just looking at our numerators in these fractions. Well done if you said that or if you wrote that into your book. Okay, on to your independent practice then. If you are doing the cool challenge today, this is your challenge. So I would like you to order these fractions into your book from smallest to largest. You can either write just the fraction or you can write the fraction and draw the shape. So if you would like to do the cool challenge today, please pause the video and you can use this slide for your learning now. Okay, if you are doing mild, spicy or hot today then please, I would like you to order these fractions into your book from smallest to largest. So make sure you're thinking carefully about the order. You can either write just the fraction or write the fraction and draw the shape. It's up to you how you want to do it. So the best shape to draw would be a bar, and then split your bar into the number of pieces shown by the denominator, which is the bottom number. Well done. So you can use squares in your book if you've got squares in your book. If you don't, you can just draw a bar with your ruler and split that up. Remember, you are ordering them from smallest to largest. So pause the video, and if you're doing the mild, spicy or hot challenge, have a go at this now, please. Okay, well done guys. Right, challenge time. So Sally says that 1/3 is equal to 1/2 because the numerator is the same for both. And so she has 1 part of both. Use your knowledge of denominators, think carefully about which one the denominator is, to explain why she is wrong. So pause the video and have a go at answering that now, please. Okay, so we know that 1/3 is not equal to 1/2 because when the denominator is different. It's being split into different parts, isn't it? So even if the whole is the same size, the smaller the denominator, the larger one piece is going to be. So this one is representing 1/2, so it's only been split into 2, so the pieces of the bar are quite big, whereas this one has been split into 3 parts, and so each piece is a little bit smaller. So they are not the same, as you can see here. Well done if you said that, good job. Okay, final thought time then. So Mike was ordering the fractions from largest to smallest. What has he done wrong? So pause the video and see if you can spot his mistake. Okay, so hopefully you have noticed that the largest fraction is 4/4 or 1/2, and it's at the end, isn't it? He's done it from smallest to largest instead of from largest to smallest, so he's just ordered it the wrong way around. So maybe take a minute now to double check your ordering in your task from today, just to double check you haven't made the same mistake as Mike. Well done if you spotted that. Fantastic job today, guys. It is the last maths lesson of the term, so well done. And I will see you later. Bye.